felt a little bit like the long winter here the last month or two. It finally feels like spring. It is mid-70s and sunny today, and I'm loving hanging out laundry again for it to dry. But we actually just got back from vacation, soaked up a lot of sunshine there, which was fun. Wow, my tablecloth is determined to get in the way here. What has been top of my mind on vacation and then now seeing this beautiful weather at home is getting my garden seeds started. So every year I like to start a couple hundred seeds to plant out later, and so that feels like really high time to get going. Josh brought in all my trays, the seed starting soil. I have my seeds ordered, so that is what I really want to hone in on today. Okay, I just filled my big bowl here with seed starting soil and hauled this big bag in here now so I can show you the kind of mix that I use, because it really does make a difference when you're starting soil. If you just end up using like a potting soil, it's usually much coarser and has like pieces of bark and stuff in it, and it makes it a lot harder to get healthy seedlings. So we've messed around with a couple different kinds and have found that this one, it's just called Pro Mix, and then it says BX here. We just pick it up at a local like greenhouse suppliers store and have had great success with that one. So that is what I'm going to use to fill in my trays. If you're new to seed starting, basically what you'll need is a big bowl to mix your soil in, some water, and then the trays. So the ones that I use have this bottom base, if you will, and then it has the insert, which this is a 72 count, and then we also have the dome lid. The dome lid is very important for the first little bit that your seeds are sprouting and growing, so I highly recommend having that. And then of course seeds, and very importantly, plant labels. It can be so easy, and I think of this every year when we're planting out our dahlias as well, because you think like, I'll just remember. And the truth is you don't remember in a few months, and so definitely label everything. These are special plant labels. I think we just got these off of Amazon. They came in a huge pack, so it's probably been 2 or 3 years since we ordered these, but they're plastic labels. So we have tried using like popsicle sticks before, things like that, and they will wash off. And so this has been a much better way of doing that. I have my permanent marker here, and I think that's everything. We're all set to get going. So to start off with, I'm just kind of gonna make sure we have everything nice and loose sometimes. So this big bag we actually had sitting in our storage room from last year, and so I'm just breaking up pieces that may have kind of clumped together. We want it nice and loose so that those tiny baby seeds can pop right on through. And then I'm gonna add water. I usually do like a lukewarm temperature. I'm just gonna add some of that to the soil, and sometimes it's surprising how much it actually takes. We're just gonna mix this in like it's some giant dough. Make sure that the water is well incorporated, and then what you want to do is you want to be able to pick up a handful of soil like this, and when you squeeze it, you should be able to drip out some water, but you don't want it like sopping wet to where this whole handful is like dripping. So this is about right here. I'm just gonna mix this all through and make sure that we have it incorporated throughout. The kids always love helping with this project, so it's a fun little thing we can do together. I'm just gonna dump this on here. I don't want to pack it, but I do want to make sure that each of these little cells is full. And then we're actually gonna take this whole tray and drop it a few times. That just helps the dirt settle. I don't know if you can see, it's gone down a good bit, especially on the end ones, and you wanna make sure you're full. So I'm just gonna take a little more now, sprinkle it on top, and then I just kind of take my hand and level it. I'm not pushing down into the cells, I'm just pushing over the top. And we're ready to plant the actual seed. So I grab just a school pencil here and then poke a little hole. You don't want to go too deep, but I'm going in like maybe the length. She cannot see from there. I'm going in maybe about as deep as the eraser is. So it is not deep at all. And then we'll just pop the seeds in. I often do 2 seeds depending on the variety just to make sure we have good germination. But all that information is on the back of your seed packets. And if you didn't watch my previous video where I went over my seed haul, I usually get my seeds from Johnny's Selected Seeds. I feel like this is the part where I become a little bit unhinged and I think, oh, well, let's just do, you know, a tray per variety, not thinking that our family of 7 might not eat 72 pepper plants, you know? So I'm gonna try to use some self-control here today. I always tend to have quite a bit more than we can use and love passing it on to neighbors, friends. Let's see, which variety should we start with, girls? These are flowers.
Yeah! Two?
Oh, these are tiny.
Maybe Mommy should do those out.
You mean the label? Okay. Yeah, let's do it all. Just try to do 1 or 2 seeds per each one. Yeah, let's just do those 3 rows. Hey honey, are you ready for a nap? Some more water again. Neuflora's March collection is launching in 2 days on Wednesday. What is that? March 25, I think, at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I'm so excited to share with you some of my favorites from this month's collection. If you're new here, they launch a new collection every single month and very heavily focused on natural fibers as well as items that you can wear through all the seasons of womanhood. Oh, and my discount code Golden Hour 10 is good on the entire collection as well as anything on the entire website. So I hope that helps you out, but I am starting off here with 2 beautiful pieces. This is the Annette button-down blouse. I am wearing a size extra small in this one, so it is pretty oversized, but it is 100% cotton and just this beautiful blue. More of a lighter denim. Buttons are functioning. I love how the sleeves are on this one. Since I have really wide shoulders, it doesn't cut me off or feel restricting whatsoever. Now I tied that in a knot. I thought that would be a fun way to style it, but underneath of this I have the Tuscany dress. Now this is such a beautiful fabric. This one also is 100% cotton and I have to show you this up close because it is a stunner. It's in this vintage floral print. I'm wearing a small in this one, but look at the embroidery. So it has this gorgeous scallop, but then that embroidery comes everywhere in the entire dress. It is a sleeveless dress, beautiful ruffles around front and back. This tie, by the way, is not functional, so it is just there for looks, but adds a pretty little touch, and then it does have pockets. Next up is the fall river dress in rose floral. This is another gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. I love the pink and the green in it. It feels so perfect for spring. I also like that this one has a smaller neckline. As a busy mom, I don't like always having to think about like when I'm bending over, all those things, but I don't know. So like I mentioned before, I have really wide shoulders. It actually hits me at the right spot, but I'm not sure if this puffed sleeve is doing me any good. So you let me know if I should keep this one or not. Obviously, I can't keep all of them. This one is also a little bit shorter. I'm 5'7" for reference. Now this is a true wrap dress. So the entire thing opens up. So the string threads through the side here and then comes around. You do have a little bit of room to work with, so it's not going to just flap open. And then it does have a tiny little snap feature right here, so that is also really nice. And I am wearing a small in this one. The Dublin dress is back in yet another beautiful fabric, and this is actually one of my favorites that they've ever done. It's called taupe floral. I love the shape of this flower. I don't know if you can see that. Is that showing up? And then how viney it is. Isn't that so pretty? It has nice deep pockets as well. The top is smocked, so lots of stretch in it, making it nursing friendly. Of course, it's bump friendly. This one is also lined in the skirt, so you don't have to worry about it being see-through in the sun. It is also 100% cotton, and I am wearing a small. I've not been doing a good job showing you the backs, but the smocking continues through the back on this one as well. This is the Harriet dress, and oh my goodness, first of all, I never wear yellow, so this is kind of fun. I've actually really been loving like that buttery yellow. Florals are a few shades of yellow, I would say, and then it also has some, I think it's blue in it. I absolutely love that this is a little bit more of a fitted dress. It's something I've really been looking for recently. Well, for one, I know that's what Josh loves on me, but sometimes I feel like the really gathered waists are just not super flattering on my body type, which is something I've been having fun just kind of studying into more recently. I love the buttons here. My only wish is that the neckline was smaller. Like I said, I don't like super fuss where I have to like hold my neckline when I'm bending over if I don't want to flash everyone. So if I keep this one, I might mess around and see if there's any way that I can bring this up a little bit higher here. Otherwise, it's everything. I love the length of it. This one hits me just above the ankle. The fabric feels incredible. It is so comfortable. And then I love that that more structured look is obviously down your waist, but also up your bodice. But it is actually more flexible than you might think because the back still has this smocking, making it just really comfortable, movable, and easy to work in. This one is also 100% cotton, and I'm wearing a small. Another fan favorite is back, which is, of course, the Loveland dress. This one is in my very favorite type of fabric, which if you've been around for a while know exactly what that is. It is this cotton gauze fabric. It is the softest thing you could ever put on your skin, in my opinion. It is so comfortable, it is breathable, and this month, this dress is in this beautiful rose floral print. I love the pinks in it. I love the greens in it. I also really like that the Loveland dress, the bodice comes down just a little bit lower. Again, for my body type, a super high waist just looks kind of chopped off and boxy. And so I love that this one comes lower. This one also has nice deep pockets, perfect for all of the pacifiers and phones and whatever you're looking to store in there. I don't know if I would actually pair these two together. I actually don't have a mirror in this room, but this dress, which this is the Del Rey dress, it does just have spaghetti straps at the top, and I prefer more coverage. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna pair these two together. This is the Alpharetto sweater. It is absolutely beautiful. Talk about texture and lace and all the feels. It is so cozy, it's so comfortable, and especially again as we're looking for a little bit lighter pieces going into spring and summer, this is the perfect thing to throw over any dress. I love the length of this one, and it is also 100% cotton. Buttons are functioning, and I am wearing a small in the sweater, well actually as well as the dress. This is the Del Rey dress. It is also 100% cotton. It has a really pretty fabric, again kind of a mauve-ish color, beautiful ruffle, and then again a little bit of a vintage trim at the bottom. Still has pockets, and the buttons on the dress are also fully functioning. And finally we have the Leavenworth dress. This is a beautiful blue, again floral, so many beautiful florals in this collection. And something that's really unique about this dress particular is how adjustable it is. So the neckline tie is adjustable and can adjust around the entire neckline, front and back. So you can have this be off the shoulder, you can have this be super tight around your neck, very adjustable that way, but also these ties on the sleeves are functional as well. So you can pull them tight for more of a puffed sleeve vibe. You can leave them loose if you like it more just hanging straight down. It does have pockets, and then obviously because of the tie as well as elastic in the waist, this one would be nursing and bump friendly as well. So I hope that is helpful for you if you are eyeing the March collection, or if you just like these try-ons for inspiration for pieces that you already have in your closet.
Mama, can I put them in?
Yeah. Okay, and we've just filled our first tray here. I put in some lemon balm. I'm really excited to grow that for the first time this year. Actually, my mom has been raving and raving about the benefits of lemon balm. But that one only wants to be tamped down on the soil. So Leslie did that here with her spoon, just kind of tamp that in. But for the rest of the tray, we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit more soil over the top to cover our holes, and then I'm going to do the same thing as I did before we started planting the seeds, where I just spread over the top. I'm not really looking to press down hard. We're going to set these under grow lights in our basement. It is not pretty down there, but it has been working beautifully and for a really budget price. So we don't have that set up quite yet. I think we're gonna try to do that a little bit later this week, so I'll try to take you down there for that then, and kind of give you the whole picture of what it takes to start all these seeds. But we do have some other things we wanna do outside while the weather is nice. With the warm weather, Kyra is able to bath all her farm animals again. She does such a beautiful job taking care of them. This is our little miniature pony. Kyra even made some homemade horse treats for him, and he devours them. Pretty good, Flicker, huh? Oh, he's trying to lick your hands. Yeah. In the creek. You could ask him if you could wade in the creek. And the girls gathered some chickweed for the chickens. They love young chickweed. Another thing in preparation here for garden season is dry manure going into the garden boxes. This will help keep that soil so nice and rich. Hey, are you gonna dump it in? Or shovel, I guess. So that's what Hudson is getting ready to do here. He's gonna pitchfork it into the garden boxes, and then we'll hoe it into the soil. And we're getting closer step by step to actually planting up our garden.
Creatures got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. All God's creatures got a place in the choir.
It is 3 days later now, and unfortunately the weather has gotten a lot colder, but that's March for you, especially here in Pennsylvania. It can be very up and down. However, I want to take you downstairs now and show you how we've set up the lights. Josh is actually just finishing that up this morning, and what do you know? 3 days in, and we have so many little plant babies down there. In fact, one of them, they must be like 4 inches tall. It's crazy. So anyways, I want to show you what that's like down there. Just a reminder, you do not need a fancy space. We actually used to set up our lights right up in here, and while it was convenient because it was right off the kitchen, I much prefer it downstairs for a couple of reasons. So the room that we set this up down there, it's very unfinished, but it's the furnace room, so it stays a little bit extra warm. It's where we keep all of our barn clothes, and then it's just so handy for watering. So we'll actually just hook up our garden hose. We have a faucet down there, hook it up, and I can just spray all over, and it can run all over the floor. It doesn't matter, it'll just run to the drain. And so it's just a lot easier in the actual day-to-day than trying to have it somewhere in a living space. Plus my toddler doesn't get into it as much down there as he would up here. So let me take you down there right now and show you our little setup.
The lights are laid across here like that. And they don't fall off. So there's a 2x4 and then this thinner piece on top just to keep the lights from sliding off. And then I have a whole box of blocks. Under here to...
As the plants grow, you have to also keep the lights off of them. So until the end, they're what, like this high maybe?
Yeah. So let's get on toward that.
I know that the beautiful, like, lush shots once all of this is planted out in beautiful garden boxes is the favorite to look at, right? But this is where it starts. It's very simple, and I hope it also encourages you that you don't need a fancy setup to start seeds from scratch. Let me pull one of these for you so you can actually see these little plant babies that we planted literally 3 days ago that are already coming up. Okay, the lighting is a little bit wonky down here, but I think you can see a little bit. Let me try turning you away from that big light bulb. Okay, you can see we already have little plant babies coming, which is so exciting to see. We'll leave the covers on for just a little bit longer because keeping the covers on really helps the plants like germinate and come up, helps keep the soil more moist because dry soil is about the worst things for little baby seeds. So I'm going to cover this again, and then once they've kind of outgrown their little cells, we don't want them getting root bound. So then I take each and every one of these little seedlings that has come up and plant them into bigger pots. And that's when you finally realize how many plants you planted. Every year, I feel like when it's like this, I feel like, man, I should have done more. That's not many plants. And then once you pot them into the bigger, like 4-inch pots, you're like, did I get plants for the entire neighborhood? So I know this isn't a fancy room or anything, but this is where the miracle of growth happens, and it just never gets old. I would love to hear what you're working on if you are into gardening right now. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you were inspired. By the way, this is a little sneak peek of next week's video coming up. But thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Golden, golden thing.